Okay, today is October 28th, 2024, Orange Beginner's Corner at about 9:15 at night. I found the antenna. I was drawing it out a little bit. I figured out that this oscillation was coming when I didn't have an electrolytic filter capacitor hooked up there, so I'll turn this thing on. I didn't solder nothing, and here's the capacitor that's going in. I just got all those tied together, hooked up to where the yellow one goes.
One in Missouri and one in North Dakota.
And you know we would hit back, of course. And you think what? That we would just hit two of their cities in retaliation? That might be the end of it?
So you can turn it up full blast now.
You don't?
I don't think we will retaliate.
How can you imagine the United States would get two nukes going off on its territory from a foreign power? Much less
This capacitor is just hanging onto the wire.
SOB in Afghanistan and not react. How could we not
The last
react?
video I did, they put copyright on it. So apparently they didn't appreciate me skipping around on the record. So we'll see what happens here. They kick me off. I'm not gonna get too excited about it, but I seen this record played on there before, so see what happens.
I disagree with that. I think that if a nation state were to hit us with a nuclear device, they could kiss their butts goodbye.
So I'll turn it to phonograph. I still have to go through the mechanicals. You can hear the issues. But I just skipped through the record like this, but I said something that may have created an issue.
She's the answer to a sad
So
and lonely heart.
I'm going to say something that this song resembles something and see if it does what it did on the last video, get the copyright issue. Reject does not work yet. So this song reminds me of Three Bells by Jimmy Brown, by the Browns. Okay, that's it. This is just a test. We'll shut this off for a minute. Go back to here. I think I can play AM radio. I won't say who it is.
Explain it any further.
No, well, you don't have to. A biological attack at the Winter Olympics. There have been a number of people who have been concerned, worried about that. Boy, the American people are in a bad mood.
Which is now 18 minutes old. So if you tweeted in the last 30 minutes, you're in. And or if you tweet in the next 3 hours and 30 minutes, you'll...
And the burn interchange. 57.
So I'm getting skip, I guess, now.
You're not just a number to them. I would...
Is not appreciated. And
Tell me, no, God cannot trust mother.
think about it.
On a couple of...
Leave it there for a minute. So I'm drawing it out to see if there's any difference. Here's the antenna. This is a solid core wire. I'll get the thickness of it. So I just have this hooked up. I got all these just tied together to charge them up for a bit. I still have that on the plate of the 35W4 going to the AC. I said this was DC before, it's AC. And it stays pretty lukewarm. Not even, it's lukewarm. So I'll put this in a container that says 0.05. I'll find one. I gotta do the 0.1, and I guess that's probably the 0.01. I think all the parts are in here now. That was missing and that was missing. Now obviously now I got the knobs and I got those thoroughfares on there. I screwed them on. Both of them. They're brass. Got the spindle. And I got the medicine jar. So that's the one that come with this. This is supposedly is Income Rewards Airline, I guess. According to what the person put on eBay, but there's no proof of that anywhere that I could see. This says RCA. The spindle they gave with it. Whoops. I'm touching wires. Don't know what. I think it's the speaker wires that get excited. Could be this, because this is hard to hook up to.
Chip collection agent.
So let's go down this way.
Just 11 seconds to go in the quarter.
Strong station.
All right. Well, I appreciate
Strong
the call. Thank you.
station.
And you also have hum.
Your sleep since 2008 with hundreds of 5-star.
Strong station. The rest will be iffy. I'll just leave it off station. So this is a test to see what happens. So this here thing, oh boy, I'm dropping it. Let me put this down a minute. Oh boy, everything I make is heavy. Why is that? I got this thing here I've been working on, and it doesn't work, obviously. It's an AM transmitter. When I first built it, it actually worked. When I first built it, I built it like, not that. When I first built it, I built it like this. And it worked. Not very good, but it transmitted. It's a transmitter. And I have, I don't think I have a 220 picofarads there, I can't remember. I don't have an 82 here picofarads, I think I have a 68. When I built it like this, it worked somewhat. Not very, it didn't transmit very far, but it transmitted. And I have a, I have the loop stick like this. This is just something that came out of a radio. I don't even know what the heck it's from, but this is based off the grid number 2. See, it's supposed to be more like a 6SA7. 6SA7, I think grid number 2 and 4 are tied together. But okay, now this one here, this one here worked somewhat. Okay, this one here, which I based off a schematic out of a book, and I guess I redacted stuff from this other side. This one is out of a book. This one doesn't seem to work. Again, I don't have that kind of a loop stick there, or coil assembly. I have the one more like this. Actually, it's got 4 taps. This would be the one from the AM radio kit. I'll find a schematic of that. But this one here on the white, which is the way this is pretty much right now, Doesn't work very good. Doesn't. I don't even think it hardly even works. But that's out of this book here. If I can do this without breaking this antenna. I think that was it. Yeah, I'll find it here. I got the book upside down. So this is this. And I don't think there's a parts list for it, really. I don't know if this can be playing or not. Turn it down. So that's this. The part I built, obviously, is the left side. So I put a 47 picofarads there. I put a, what I put there, I don't even know. I don't even have a clue. I don't, this has been a while since I did this. I don't even remember what I did. It's this right here. What I did. So I put up the cathode. Okay, on the cathode I have a .047. That's a restuffed capacitor. So I have a .047. I think on this schematic it shows a .1. Okay. 51K, I probably put a 47K. But I don't have a this is the best I could come up with, is with this one here. So it's more like, it's not like, it's like, I actually didn't build this because I can't say I did, because I got, my coil was like this. Except for I got another tap someplace that I didn't use. So I can't remember if I used 1.7 ohms and 4.9 ohms. I think that's what I used. I used the 80. I used a 62 picofarads, I think, and probably the .01. That green one is probably a .01. 22K there at 220 picofarads. That would be the one that goes to the grid. Grid would probably be this one over here. And that tall one, the one up here, is the 68 picofarads that I use. I didn't have an 82. I probably have one if I look hard enough. This is the first one I built, and it transmitted somewhat. Then I changed some of the components around to change the location of the grid number 1. I changed grid number 1. On this one I have grid number 1 is my, from the bottom of the coil. On this one it's on the pickup. And I think it's on the, grid number 1 is on the pickup here. I'll get the schematic that it originated from. I'm just trying to do something with this old tube, but I'll get the original schematic here with the 12SA7 or 6SA7. So it's right here. This I bought from Antique radio parts many years ago. So this has the 12SA7, and they have the signal going in grid number 3, I think it looks like. So that's how I based this one, was off of that signal coming in grid number 3 and 5. So that's how I based this, and it did transmit so much, but not nearly as good as this one. So this shows 82 picofarads, 47 picofarads, and a 220, 22K. That's where I got my values from. But this one works pretty good. I have it. I made the original on a piece of wood. I have it, but I was just trying to make one with this tube on a board like this. So this is the one. So this is the original. And the parts list is this. They don't give you any information, but I think it's just a standard coil they sell. I have the original receipt when I purchased it. Well, this ain't the original stuff. So I have the original receipt with the unit. So that's that. But this book here I got from my library. Luckily, I was able to grab it many years ago. It was for free. Withdrawn book. Then there's something else of interest in here. Of I don't know if I have it marked or not. What is this thing? I don't know what this thing is. What is it? Is it a relay? I don't know what it says. I think it's a relay. You know, maybe I don't have it marked. Oh, this FM, okay, this one here. This one here I made a long time ago too. I couldn't get it to work with this part, but when I took this part here, and I still have my original 2.5 Henry coils for them too. If I took a resistor and put here, and a bypass capacitor, I think I used, maybe not, but I put about started out at about 150 ohms here to ground, because this tube would red plate like crazy when I would hook it up. But I could get this to oscillate with a few turns here and a few turns here on the FM frequency. But I could never get this to work with it. Stuff like this I would use if I can read this. I can't read it without my glasses. I don't know if I got my glasses here or not. I don't think so.
Tomorrow against the Giants, Joe.
Present.
Still working. I don't have my glasses, I guess, so I can't read it. But I have intentions to finish this thing somehow. I get about 250 volts out of that transformer, I think, somewhere around there. What this thing call for? Well, this ain't the one. But this one here actually works on FM. But like I say, right here I had to put a resistor and a bypass capacitor to ground probably right there. And it's still red plated. So I was using that obviously as the oscillator. I don't know what this funky stuff is doing up front. I don't know, some kind of modulation. I think you're better off to modulate it at the power supply or something. Or the grid number 2 or something, I think. I don't know. This got to modulate it here. It didn't work. That's all I know. And this red plated really bad. Well, it says right there, FM. And I don't think it says anything about much on it. Is this it? Oh, this ain't even it. I don't know. This is it. So here's the coil. It's just a few turns they show. Like that. One turn and then, let me see. I can't count them. Let me see. One turn and then one more turn. One turn and a one turn, I think. It's hard to tell. Without my reading glasses, I almost see doubles. There's RFC choke, the capacitors and stuff. Shit. One turn and then another turn and a half. So you got, from, if you're counting this, say approximately, well, these things are out this way, so at the probably the center axis this way. So you got 1 1/4 turns, then from here, and then from here you got 1 turn, 2 turns, 2 1/2 turns. Counting from this lug to this, or this wire to this wire, I would say 1, 2. Oh shit, I can't. 1, 2, 2 1/2 turns. 1, 2, and another half. If you're starting here, 1 turn, 2 turns, 2 1/2 turns, and then this is a 1 1/4 in from whatever direction. Here's the underside. So it's a pretty, looks like it's the size of a dime in diameter. So my last one got copyright. It said copyright on it.
Do you think a catastrophe?
But I guess they still put it on. I don't know.
One stepped in, Mark walked away paying less than $1,500. Call Coast One now. And four snapper to the gun, 3 receivers right, single man to the left.
So you can turn it way up now with this capacitor hooked up.
Here's the snap, we throw right side.
That was making it motorboat, I think.
Outside the numbers, he dives forward. He's going to be just short of the first down. Needed to get to the 35. He's at the 36, so it's a gain of 3.
So it's working pretty good, so I'll have to just clean up, put this in there, hook it in, put the cathode bias resistor capacitor in here, and put this in a 0.05 container and put the hot glue around it, take this one out. This one is just kind of hanging in there, it's cut. And this one down below, deep, has to be pulled out. That's got to be the 0.01. So, let's see what happens here.
Caught it. Higbee's out of bounds.
I was going to put the Bible on here at 1, was it 1 and, or the 16 speed. I'm thinking reel to reel, 1 and 1 reel to reels. Okay, I'll turn this baby on. But the last one I got a copyright. So, And I didn't play a whole song. I was going to put another one on after that, but I can't because I played a whole song. So I got to delete it. So I'm doing this one.
Keep your heart for me. Break your
Let's see what they do.
too many nights while we're apart in your eyes.
If they can figure this one out, Lord help them, they'll probably freeze that and read it.
Love
I think it's artificial intelligence, so.
blooms at turn. The chick. Break your but I'll never.
I see other people put this person on there. I'm not going to say who it is.
When you your heart, the only. Please keep don't let this.
So now I have to get some grease on parts inside here. Get this noise mellowed out, whatever it is, hitting the platter, whatever's going on with it, and get it so it'll reject. There's a, when you hit it, I think there's a long rod that goes in about the center of that mechanism, and it pulls something, and I can't remember. It's been a while. Been about a year since I was working on one. I got a Bakelite tabletop, a real nice Bakelite sent to me. It was busted to shit, and it was all bent up. These things were bent. It was hitting. Took such a hard ride. These things were bent way over, and it was just a horrible mess. So I didn't even keep the turntable out of it because the turntable top was bent and everything. It was just horrible. So that's all I can do. So if I get the other stuff done on for the speakers, get those hardened steel cockeyed rivets out of there and get nuts and bolts in there. That should be done with it. So this is it. This is about 9:30 at night now. Signing off. I don't think there's anything else here to do. Signing off.